This is the plaintiff, Rosemary French. She says she and the defendant have been friends for over 20 years, and now their friendship's ruined over a lousy car sale. She agreed to buy a car from the defendant, and 2 weeks after she had it, the hunk of junk broke down. She can't believe her good friend would unload a heap of garbage on her. She wants her money back and is suing the crook for the $2,700 she's owed. This is the defendant, Tracy Broomfield. He says the plaintiff stopped making payments on the car. Once she got it into her little head, she no longer wanted the thing. Sorry, honey. Things don't work that way on a whim. He hates the fact it's come down to this, a lawsuit between them. But business is business, and he's not about to lose money on this deal. He's accused of failing a friendship.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
Welcome.
Rosemary French.
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing your former friend, Tracy Broomfield, for $2,700 that you say you've paid towards a car that he has apparently repossessed on you. Tell me what happened.
I brought a previous car from him some years ago, but I had went to him and called him like at the second week of September, asking him, do he have any vehicles for sale? I told him that my budget was about $2,500. He wanted to sell me an Oldsmobile. So I agreed to pay $3,500.
I don't understand. What's he do for a living? Are you a car salesman? Are you a dealer?
Oh, no, I just have some cars that I sell sometime.
How many cars do you sell a year?
Just about 2, maybe.
I don't know. It sounds you got 3 or 4 in this trial that I'm about to hear about. I don't know about that. So go on. So in September, he sold you that you decided to buy the Oldsmobile.
Correct.
Okay.
And he wanted me to buy it for $35, so I agreed to $35. Anyway, the car was bouncing, so it was already something wrong with the car. It was the struts or something. He said he would fix the strut. Once the struts were still fixed, they still weren't completely.
I'm sorry, did you pay $3,500 for the car?
No, I was making payments on it.
Okay, so whose name was the title under?
His name.
Do you do that with many people?
No, not many people. No.
Why'd you do it with her?
I known her over 20 years, since we was kids, basically.
Okay, so she was paying you how much a week?
I think 150.
Every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks.
Okay, since when?
Since...
When did you buy the Oldsmobile?
Right
September the 16th
Of
is
what
when
year?
I initially gave him
Of what year?
$600,
Of what year?
2013.
Okay.
No,
So,
excuse me, 2012.
yeah, that's what I thought. The math wasn't working out. So you had the
2012.
Oldsmobile for how long did you have the Oldsmobile?
He didn't give me the Oldsmobile right off. I was driving another vehicle that he had repoed from somebody else until he got me that vehicle.
Okay.
So I'll say the end of September, I want to say that I had it.
Until when?
The end of February, beginning of March.
And because at the end of February, beginning of March, you decide what?
He was telling me that he had somebody that was interested in buying the car that he was selling me.
Wait, the car that you were paying for already and that you have been driving since September?
Yes.
Okay.
So I decided, okay, but as long as you give me a car to drive until you get me something.
So you're paying on the Oldsmobile. Do you have a contract, you said?
Yes.
Yes.
Let me see the contract. Yeah. How many people are paying you for a car at any given time?
Maybe 2.
You're such a liar. Oh my gosh, you're such a liar.
Yeah.
This is your business, obviously.
Yes.
This is it. So you eat any other way besides this? All right, so in any event, you're paying your biweekly fee. You've got the car. According to you, he says, hey, I'd like to sell your car to somebody else. And you say, peachy keen with me. Just give me something to drive. Okay, go on. What happens after that?
So he gave me a Jeep.
You have a very different story about how that trade with the Oldsmobile happened.
Yes. I'm just waiting on my
So
time.
he gives you a Jeep, and just tell me what the deal was.
Basically was I drive the Jeep until he found me another car. I did not want the Jeep. I did not commit to purchasing the Jeep, and that's not what I wanted.
I mean, according to you, she's saying that because she's changed her mind on the Jeep.
Right.
Do you have a contract for the Jeep?
See, we had a verbal contract.
So what happens with the Jeep? Why did she give you the Oldsmobile and take the Jeep?
Because
Is it
she
like
wanted
she
the
says
Jeep.
because you decided you wanted to resell the Oldsmobile to somebody?
No, it didn't happen
You'd
like
already
that.
sold the Oldsmobile.
No, it wasn't.
Well, yeah, you hadn't transferred title everything because she didn't finish paying yet.
Right.
But you had sold it to her.
No, I know I sold it to her, but we came to make a payment. She seen the Jeep I was driving, so she said, "Oh, okay, I want the Jeep. I like that Jeep." I said, "Okay, well, we can trade the Jeep for the Oldsmobile, and you just keep making the payments like it is."
And she said,
"Okay."
And then you traded cars.
You traded cars, yes.
Okay. Now, why? You don't want me to believe that because you want me to believe that you were test driving the Jeep, except for that you had the Jeep for how long?
Till when did he come?
4 or 5 months. That's a long test drive.
Well, it
Long test drive.
It wasn't a test
I don't know
drive.
what you call commit, but you're there every day for 4 or 5 months, and okay.
Well, I have to have a vehicle to get back and forth to
That's
work.
not, you're not
He
understanding what I'm
offered-
saying. I have to decide whether you're lying to me about whether you committed to that Jeep. He says, Judge, we traded cars. She said she wanted the Jeep, so we just kept the same deal. That's why we don't have new paperwork. And then she took the Jeep. And then 3 months later, 4 months later, she's looking at me saying, I changed my mind and I'm not going to pay you.
That's not true. I have
But it looks
text
that way
message-
because you got the car for that long.
Exactly, but I have text messages where I'm telling him, because at this point, it's the end of April. He was supposed to show me a car and have me a car the second week of April. The beginning of May, he sent me 2 pictures. I said, is the car for $2,700? Because at this point, I'm not giving him anything else because I done already told him I never committed to the Jeep. So why would I keep on paying you for something that I'm not going to be owner of and I didn't choose?
Let me see your texts. I want you to tell me when your last payment was.
March the 31st, 2013.
I don't see.
He put an arrow from March the 29th. I think it's the 29th. Sorry. The 29th of March.
There's an arrow. I don't know what it means. Does it mean she's paid up to
Hey.
March the 29th?
No, the arrow mean that she didn't pay that insurance payment right there. Can I see it?
Yeah.
See
What do you mean by what you write? Okay. You got those texts?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I got some text too that she sent me.
I'll see both your texts. I'll look at your pictures.
That was
And I have pictures too.
313.
313 what? That was her
March,
last
March.
payment? No, I don't know.
That's the arrow at, and it's pointing up to the $100.
What does that mean?
That's what me and her. She
Yeah,
knew
what
it
did you
meant.
and her mean? I'm asking you.
That
You
means
don't
she
know,
didn't make
do
that payment.
That means
that
what?
insurance payment. And so arrow pointing up to the.
Sweetheart, I know what an arrow is. I learned that in kindergarten. I just don't know what the heck you mean when you write an arrow.
That's what it means.
So when was her last payment?
March 15th.
But that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Why are you sending her pictures of other cars
Because
in May?
I told her, I said, when we traded for the Jeep and the Oldsmobile, I said, do you want any other cars that I can find you? And she was like, yeah.
And that's not-
She
her
wanted to buy another car?
wanted the car too.
She wanted to buy another car?
No.
Her daughter.
For her daughter.
Yeah.
I was not looking for another vehicle for my daughter.
Okay. You want $3,500 for a 2000 Olds. Does that make sense? Better yet, you wanted $4,500 for a 2000 Jeep with over 200,000 miles. When are you coming to get the Jeep started? Well, did you agree to go get the Jeep started? Call me today for I can get it running. I'm not calling you. When you get off work and is heading my way, you call and let me know. I need the key for the truck so I can get it and fix it. Today, stop playing with me. I need the blanking key. I need my blanking car that you were supposed to have to me over 2 months ago. You have 48 hours, she says to you, to get back in touch with me and inform me about my vehicle. What were you threatening him about?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Would you ever sell a used car to a friend?
Yes, I would. I would. I would know that it'd be in good condition, and
What happens if something happens to it? What's your friend gonna think?
that I probably tricked them.
Exactly. Would you do it?
Yeah, I still would.
I was very convincing, wasn't I? What do you think?
Yes.
You would?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I would not sell a used car to a friend. I wouldn't want a car to ruin a good friendship.
What if it's just an okay friendship?
Yeah, I do it without any thought. Have it checked out before, and then any problems afterwards, it's on them.
You have a lot of friends?
No, not that many.
How many chairs at your dinner table?
6.
Do you ever fill them?
Sometimes.
Going inside the courtroom.
This is conversations we done had over the phone in between those
Right.
of him supposed to have a vehicle for me that was worth $2,700 because I have told him on many occasions he wasn't getting another dime from me.
But what is it you think is going to happen? You think I'm going to order him to pay you $2,700 and you're going to drive a car for free for a year?
Yeah.
How
I
would
didn't
that
have
be
it for
fair?
a year free. He was supposed to get me the car in April.
What you want me to do is order him to pay you back every penny you paid him. How would that, what you're asking, be fair when you drove a car for all that time? You think there's no charge for driving the car for all that time?
But he knew that I had the car and he never asked
I know
for
you
a
had the
payment.
car too. I'm still asking you the
But
question.
he never asked for a payment and I told him I wasn't paying him.
When
That's
did
not
you
true.
stop paying?
I stopped paying March the 29th, 2013.
When did you take the car back?
I took the Jeep back in probably about June.
Did you repossess it or you just take it? She gave you the keys?
No, she didn't give me the key. She still got the key. I had to get it towed.
You got to get towed behind her back?
No, I told her I was
Yes.
going to tow it. I told her I left her a message on her phone.
You know, the problem that we have is that you want me to find all these things, none of which you got in writing. You want me to find that the Jeep was a temporary situation. You told me, look at the text and you'll see that. I don't exactly see that. It's very fuzzy. Here's what I got. I've got your signature on an as-is used car sale. That means it's over. Then I've got you agreeing that you modified this and that you switched the Oldsmobile for the Jeep. And I've got you saying, oh no, that wasn't a straight switch. This was this, temporary situation, which you've got no evidence of whatsoever. I find that there is absolutely no evidence other than you're angry in the summer after you've been driving the car on a straight trade, which is what I find this was. Yeah. It got repossessed because you stopped making payments in March, and you don't get to drive a car for free. My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Well, here's the plaintiff coming out here. Well, the judge rules against you, and so you understand this ruling?
Yeah. And it's quite all right. So anybody that know Tracy Broomfield in Columbus, Ohio, he is a scammer, and he will scam you.
Now, this man has been your friend for how long?
20 years.
Mm-hmm. So why would he scam you if he's been your friend for 20 years?
That's what I would like to know. Why would you sell me a car, have me buying a car, and then you tell somebody else that they can buy it? Because he want money.
Oh, all right. All right, so step on in here. You satisfied how this comes out? Your friend is pretty mad at you there, your ex-friend.
Well, you see her happening in the courtroom. She's just uncontrollable. Mm-hmm. I tried to help her. She was a friend for 20 years, and the judge made the final ruling.
All right, Harvey?
Here's the thing. If it is not a straight cash deal, it is all the more reason to get it in writing. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.